Tasmania has a dark energy. It's an island that lives alongside its horrifically violent past. In the capital city Hobart, ghost tours are a thriving industry, and experts in the spiritual realm are everywhere. So, how haunted is Hobart? Oh my god, that scared the shit out of me. We're here to find out. Hobart seems to have a huge number of psychics, healers, people that dabble in that outer realm. So today we're going to go meet a healer named Anna Daisy, and she's going to tell us a little bit about what it's like healing in Hobart. Hi!
So I thought I was excited, so I'd start drumming.
Hello, we were like, are we at the right place? Yes. Gorgeous. Hi, I'm Ari.
Aren't you both exquisite?
Nice to meet you.
Well, it's psychic work.
Yeah.
The moment, I'm reading somebody, from the moment they walk around the street, I can feel the energy of them arriving. We need to always wear colour because it vibrationally lifts our energy. So if you're always in black, you are literally lowering your energy to other people. So I'm Anna Daisy, and I feel that I've been doing my work my whole life. I was born knowing things and looking down at my little baby body at 6 months and thinking, what have I been born into? I never really fitted in. I was hypersensitive. I could feel everything everybody thought. And if they thought it about me, I could read it, which was difficult.
Yeah.
But I feel like everything that has happened to me has shaped me to exactly where I am. Love work with a passion, because I know that every person has the solutions. It's just having that little gentle prompt to say you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm doing is going around the root chakra and I'm grounding you.
How does the work that you do intersect with other forms that are in a similar psychic realm, like tarot reading or fortune telling?
Well, see, I have an issue with fortune telling, and I actually have an issue with the word psychic.
Yeah.
Because we all have that intuition, and I can psychically read you, but I would never say to someone, here's the time frame, because in energy, there is no time. We have made time on Earth. There's no time up there. When you're ready, it will pop down. I feel that we are a bit of a quirky island. We do not follow, we follow our own drumbeat. You can feel the ancestral energy everywhere around here. You can feel pockets where it's a darker energy, and there's certain places I would never be able to live or go and have a respite in, because I can feel that actual vibrational energy.
Where do you think the dark energy comes from?
Oh, it comes from a lot of pain. When I go to certain places, I can feel death. I can feel the anguish and the pain. If I was to be completely honest, it feels like Indigenous death to me. Lots of trauma, lots of taking, lots of people taking because we're not meant to take from people. So lots of sadness on this island, but then when you look at the history, and it's rich, and I think we need to be very much in touch with the history, learn from it, embrace it, to say, right, well, thank goodness we're moving forward, but what can we do to heal people? Because there's ancestral healing that needs to take place.
I don't know if we got that on camera, but I was saying the camera overheated, and you said, I'm not surprised because there's so many spirits in there.
Yeah, there's good spirits. There's a lot of energy in that room, and my grandmother comes through all the time, and she's with me now, and I put the pink dress on for her because she lived from head to toe in pink.
Yeah.
So that's why.
That's so sweet. Yeah, your outfit's great.
Thank you.
It's no wonder why Tasmania is haunted. 200 years ago, British colonisers waged a genocidal campaign here that was almost successful in its ambition to exterminate the island's indigenous population, called Palawa. From 1820 to the mid-1830s, British invaders aimed to exterminate and extirpate the island's Aboriginal population, according to their own historical records.
To me, it's a no-brainer that it was a genocide. If you look at the United Nations definitions of genocide, it's to remove people from land, to stop them practicing culture. On almost every scale, it qualifies as a genocide. From the colonisers' point of view, it was probably surprising because they met with a really concerted resistance. There are definitely voices of dissent there, and people who are saying, this is really wrong, we've taken their land. And I think much of that that idea of the darkness of Tasmania comes from the extinction myth. There's a historian, Reby Taylor, put it really beautifully, and she said the extinction myth gave the community guilt without complication.
Walking around Hobart, historic sites fold into the crowded urban landscape. One of the oldest buildings in Tasmania sits across the street from a Goodbyes. Down the docks, the old Maritime Museum holds a trove to the island's history.
One evening, I finished work at 3 o'clock in the morning and went over to wake the other keeper and walked in the door, and I heard this noise and I thought, oh, he's coming. But at the same time I felt incredibly cold, and I just stood there, and 20 minutes later he appeared from another direction, and I said, oh, I thought I heard you sort of 20 minutes ago. And he said, oh, we often hear that here. So I'm quite open to the idea of ghosts. We did actually, from one lighthouse, see unidentified flying objects from time to time.
Okay.
And that was quite an experience.
Tell me more about that.
It was actually my very first night working as a lighthouse keeper. I was on an island called Matsaka Island, which is off the southwest coast of Tasmania. It's the most remote lighthouse in Australia. And I'd arrived that day after an overnight trip on a boat and was already very tired. And then started work at 10 o'clock to work through till 3. Walked out onto the balcony of the light and looked up, and there was this extraordinary light in the sky, really quite close to the lighthouse. And down there, there's no background noise apart from wind and waves. So if it had been a plane, I would have heard an engine. But I could hear nothing, and this light was sort of circling near the light. And I got back inside very quickly, finally sat down and went off to sleep, and the replacement keeper came in at 3 o'clock and walked up and sort of tapped me on the knee, and he said I practically flew from one side of the tower to the other. So it made a big impression, but they'd been seeing this light for a long time.
And here there's no shortage of horrible penal sites. The 200-year-old Hobart Convict Penitentiary is famously haunted, and even has one of 2 original gallows left in the country.
Do you know how many people have died in this prison?
Oh, that's
32 that we can 100% say have died here at the gallows, but it would have to be in the hundreds, if not thousands.
How long have you been running tours first?
Off and on since 2016.
Oh, that's quite a while.
Yeah.
How did you get into it initially?
I was fascinated with the ghosts.
Yeah.
My previous job role led me to try and find out if they were real, what I'd seen, and yeah.
What did you find out?
It's definitely real. A lady a couple of weeks ago left the tour screaming, and I mean hysterically, because she swears she's seen like skeletons chained to the walls. Now, we hadn't even told her what happened down here.
And this is crazy. This is what solitary confinement would be like.
It is like, but you don't want to stay in here on your own. Cool. No, the spirit in here does not like ladies.
There are reports of prisoners being in here for up to 1 month. By the time you get to that 1 month, you're starting to go a bit crazy.
Quite often when you come in here, people will tell you that they see shadows up along the judges' seats. You hear walking around in here, screaming, steps from below. The light sometimes swings backwards and forwards.
And the people who were sentenced to be executed here, do you know, like, roughly what sort?
Murders, rapes, bushrangering, attempt to kill.
We have had an event here where we'd done our ghost tour. Everyone was with us, locked all of the staff doors up, taken off, come down to do the tour, went back up into the courtroom, and all of the chairs that were around the table were all seated up on top in a nice perfect circle.
Sometimes it's not the house that's entered in, like the land. We've got to remember that Van Diemen's Land has had a lot of blood spill.